And the midfield for the Gladewater Bears, number 1, Howard Wilson. Number 2, Ricky Alex. Number 5, Sierra. Number 9, Joey Pico. Number 33, Sarah. For Wild Roughnecks, number 7, Jackson Roughnecks. Number 8, David Watson. Number 14, Janet Scott. And number 57, Molly East. Roughnecks want to toss and have the first. Gladewater Bears will receive.
Welcome to tonight's game at Jack V. Murphy Stadium. We are in our last regular season game, and tonight we are hosting the White Oak Roughnecks from just down the road. As Coach Murphy used to say, they're in our backyard.
Yes, Sam, that's right.
They did an onside kick. The Bears got it, and they're going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line.
Makes you wonder if they saw all the onside kicks that Sabine did and were successful with, and they went, look, this is a weak point for Gladewater. Let's focus on that.
You know, they all get the films. They trade films. They really don't anymore. It's all
I guess
online
not film, that's right.
Yeah.
They get the bits.
They get a video. How about that? And so I'm sure they studied it. And, I think the White Oaks don't have a win this season. I know they don't have a district win. And so they know this is their last shot to keep that 0 to get it off of the front of their record for this season. But, regardless of records, when Gladewater and White Oak play, it's always a battle. And simply because they are in our backyard, 7 miles east on Highway 80.
Yes, sir.
And you're in Roughneck country. But anyway, great win last week for the Bears over Atlanta. And that was certainly I didn't get to see the game, but it was certainly a great win. I think that solidified the playoffs. The Bears break the huddle now. They're in the I formation. Quarterback's under center. Motion, and it's a handoff. And they've been giving the ball to the fullback, a pretty steady diet. Fullback or the tailback. Cooper's carried it. And then I believe was the fullback, and so they have moved the ball. They've got a new set of downs, 1st down and 10, and they are now into Roughneck territory. The Roughnecks are defending the south end zone, and so the Bears are headed south, trying to move down and get their first score. This time they've got 2 wide receivers. Motion. to the top of your screen. And they are in the wildcat formation. And that ball is run that time by Brayson Woods, number 0. So they like that wildcat and snap it directly to Brayson. He did have 2 wide receivers to the top, which was the first time in this new game. So now they've got number 3 and number 5, Maddox and Frank Sierra, to the top of your screen. And they've got Morgan Grafton split off. Oh, and that was a pass then, and he was wide open. I believe that was number 35. No, 15. So that was Morgan Grafton, and that if he could have caught that, that may have been a touchdown. So that brings us up to a 3rd and about 1. So Bears have 2 wide receivers at the top, quarterback's under center, I formation, and it's a handoff to Cooper, and he rumbles and rambles and breaks 2 tackles, picks up the first down, and gets down inside the 25-yard line. Nice run. Ball's on the right hash at the 23-yard line of the Roughnecks. So now we have the wide receiver split to the bottom of your screen. And he's looking to throw, and it's completed. And throwing the ball was Luke Brown. He completes it to Brayson Woods. And he picks up, let's see how much he gains. It looks like 3 or 4 yards from where he hit the ball. The ball is now resting on the White Oak 20-yard line. And Brayson Woods comes in with the play. Again, it's now the Wildcat formation with him in the quarterback or running back position, a tight formation. Oh, the Bears jump. I believe our left guard or left tackle. I believe maybe Corey Stanley. Not sure on the number. It might have been the one next to it. So that cost the Bears 5. That'll bring up a 2nd down and about 12. They're back on the 5-yard line now. Still the Wildcat formation. All receivers in tight. There's motion. There's the snap, and Brayson's running it. He breaks wide, flips up through the gap, and makes it back to about the 21. Maybe back to the original. Well, he gained a yard from the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 9. Now Cooper is checking back into the game. Carson Cooper. We also have Frank Sierra in, split out wide, and JT Maddox split wide. And on the bottom of your screen is number 15, Morgan Grafton, or Grafton Morgan. So now there's a timeout. Both teams go to their respective sidelines, and they're going to get their instructions. So it's going to be a 3rd and about 3rd and 9. I'd call that, Avon. And anyway, a good night. Temperature is very comfortable, and if you're down there on that field working, it's especially nice that it's not 80 degrees.
A lot more pleasant, isn't it?
It is. And so now the Bears are lined up, and to the upper side of your screen, you're going to have JT Maddox and Frank Sierra, and on the bottom half will be Grafton Morgan. And Brayson Wood, number 0, is going to take the snap. Empty backfield. And he's looking to throw, and it's completed. And for a small gain, and that was Grafton Morgan that he threw to, completed the pass, and gains about 4th and 5. So
food on me. Trying to get the roster.
In case you're wondering why you haven't heard Avon the last few plays, he has been doing what he does, solving problems and getting things to work. I believe all our equipment's working okay, but we don't have a wide open roster. If you're wondering, I can we can call numbers, but we don't know who they are because for some reason we always have a roster up here. This week we don't have one, so we'll try to call numbers. That way, if we have some White Oak listeners, they may know who the numbers are, but we really don't know. But we're working on getting one, and that's why we have Avon here from the tech world to try to help us out. So 4th and 5, Bears ball. It is inside the 20, about the 18-yard line. There's this snap. Luke looking to throw. He completes the pass to number 14, Kason Harris, and I believe he gets a first down to about the 9-yard line. So they're going to move the chains,
Move
Avon.
the chains. I love the sound of that.
And that's going to be a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. So the Gladewater Bears come out throwing some at this point, and they're completing some passes. The longest one they had, they didn't quite complete, and it probably would have been a touchdown. Uh, but if all the ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Well, I hope we do have a Merry Christmas.
So there is the first touchdown of the night. Carson Cooper, the tailback, hits an off-tackle play on the left side, running toward the bottom of your screen, running downhill, as we say. And he breaks a tackle or two and makes it into the end zone right at the corner of the end zone and the sideline. So with 5 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first quarter, the Gladewater Bears are up 6-0 with the PAT coming. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it's good. So 5:51, and there is a 7-0 lead with the Bears over the Roughnecks here in this first quarter. So I don't know if the clock ran a little bit after I called it or what, but now it's saying 5:49.
So, they always want to play around with you. Your emotions are.
So anyway, the Bears will kick off from the north end of the field and kick to the Roughnecks. On your screen, they'll be kicking from the right side down to the left side. So we will try to get you some numbers. Bears are in the all black uniform today with the white numbers, and the Roughnecks are gray pants, white shirts, and the maroon numbers, it looks like. So anyway, we have a roster.
It may not be the best thing. Hopefully, that will get us close enough.
And I did forget my binoculars. I packed them. Got yours. All right, so deep for the Roughnecks. It looks like Bears kick it deep. Ball caught at the 13. 11.
Number 11, Logan Ladwig.
Okay, Logan gets a, 5 or 6 yard return, gets up to the, it looks like maybe an 8 or 9 yard. They get up to the yard line. There is a flag, and it may be kicking team offside, so we may have to have a redo. Kicking team comes back, and Bears may have to re-kick it. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, they're going to move it. Oh no, they're moving back to the 5. Ball's going to be placed on the 35, and Grafton Morgan will kick the ball again. And
air it out as far as he wants.
He could put his foot in it right now, and he would be good to go. So Bears lined up with the ball on the right hash, and I believe White Oak may be lined up a little deeper, may not have adjusted where they line up at. And he kicks it a little deep for us, and it's caught and fumbled.
Oh my goodness!
Kicks it to the same guy, number 11.
Logan looks like Ladwig.
Okay, and he bobbles the ball, but he does fall back on it. So in that exchange, Avon, they actually are starting off 10 yards better than they would have. They were on the 20, free kick now, the ball's on the 30. So Roughnecks take over, ball on the 30-yard line. They're on 30, and they've got three wide receivers at the top, one at the bottom. They're in a gun formation where they'll deep snap to the back with one back. He hands it off, and that is number 12, I think, Avon. No, it's 32.
32 is Caleb Maxled. Just say Caleb. I can read that.
There you go. Our program, we do have a picture of one, and it's a little fuzzy. So 32, Caleb carried the ball that time. They pick up a yard. So this is 2nd and 9, same formation, same play.
Caleb again.
And he's going to pick up, they may give him another yard spot, so it'll be 3rd and 8. Ball is now on the right hash, and number 15 is the quarterback.
Number 15, Bryce Morgan.
And the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen.
14 is Gavin Sipes.
And at the top of the screen, you've got 23.
Is Tyson McLean.
And then 11, and now I can't see the other number.
11 was Logan.
Yes. It's a pass, and Bears have a tremendous rush by number 9, Joby Chico. And he gets a sack, and it's a loss of yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down and about 14. So it looks like the White Oak Roughnecks in their first possession with 3:47 and running on the clock with a punt, Gladewater Bears. And the ball is punted.
Like the punter's number.
And
Brady Greenwood.
So number 18 for the Roughnecks kills the ball.
That was Cameron.
At the Bear 48-yard line, it looks like. And Bears will take over. Ball on the left hash. And they are on their own 48. And again, we're down to 3:29, and the clock will start. Snap. So this will be the Bears' second possession. And see, they have 3 wide receivers at the top, 1 running back, and they're in the gun formation. Brown quarterback, he wants to throw. He throws and is complete to Brayson Woods. But
that's some good Roughneck defense.
It was. They had that play they sniffed it out.
They did.
And
they had some pressure on Brown.
They did. And they actually, it's a gain of 1, but they hit him in the backfield, and Woods just did a good job of
making some
turning
progress.
Nothing into something and not losing anything. So now you've got 2 wide receivers, Woods and Sierra at the bottom of your screen. We've got motion. There's the snap. It's a handoff to Cooper. And he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Number 44, Kelton.
So 44 for the Roughnecks on the tackle. It is a gain of 1. And
the other clock doesn't. A number right beside that 3.
Yeah, I keep looking for that. The down.
It's either dead or they're just not punching it in or something.
I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Look at that. We talked about
so
it.
Now
we
it's
made
3rd
it
and 8. I was just going to tell you all it's 3rd and 8 from what I see.
I always
So,
found it fun to see who was more accurate. Oh my goodness!
oh, great catch.
Wow, I hope you could see that on the internet.
Great catch
That
by
was
Woods.
incredible.
Brown throws the ball, and Woods goes about as high as he can and gets both hands and hangs
Snags
on
that
to
thing
it.
out of the yard.
So that moves the chains and brings us with another first down to the White Oak 40. We're now in Roughneck territory. And Kyron Wilson checks in. And he looks like checked in at quarterback. They're in the I formation. Motion to the top of your screen. And he hands the ball off to
28.
Jeremiah Flanagan, and he picks up a few yards, like about 3 yards, I think. We'll call it
Right, I'm looking.
2nd and 7.
Burning that clock up this game.
They are.
Feels
Of course,
like the
they're
game
not
just barely
throwing
started.
much. Yeah. So now quarterback Wilson's under center, takes a snap, hands it off to the tailback.
Oh my goodness, he broke
Carson Cooper, and he breaks through and runs it all the way to the goal line, and just on a big play. We finally get to see another Gladewater big play. But that was just a good run, handoff to the tailback over that left side, and
we miss it. It happened so fast, but there was a roughneck that almost had his paws on him. He hit the booster and was gone.
He did. So now here's the kick, and the kick is up and good. So that brings the score. The Bears.
Oh, they don't have it up there. That should be 14.
Yeah, they're changing it now. Bears 14 and the Roughnecks 0.
You know, while they're moving positions here, Sam, it's always fun to get tidbits of football knowledge that maybe not everybody knows the details of. I clearly don't. I'm I wouldn't even consider myself a novice. What's below that? Goober? I'm the Goober football guy.
Okay.
So
well, I don't know what it is, but I'll let you be what you want to be on that one.
So someone was talking about something the other day where either in a college game or somebody messed up where somebody was in the wrong position because of the number of their jersey.
Yes.
So can you talk to me while this is getting underway? Or maybe we're a few seconds. We'll wait 50 seconds. Once they go to do the official switching of the sides, we're going to catch back up.
We'll talk about numbers and positions.
There we go. Numbers and positions, everybody. I hope. Oh, we almost to 50 viewers at the moment.
All right, Bears kick deep
again.
That's
a good kick.
To number 11, and he catches it just across the 20, and he makes it past the 25, and then about 5 Bears get him and drive him back. Now he's going to get forward progress, but we don't know how far up that will be.
Probably about 20.
So they're going to spot it inside the 25 at the 24. So the numbers, you have running back numbers and you have lineman numbers. And so if you have a 70 down to the 50s, then you've got to play tackle to tackle guard center on it. We'll come back to that in a second. So White Oak takes the snap, and Flanagan meets him in the backfield. The running back.
That was 32 again, Caleb.
So that's they're giving him back to the line of scrimmage. Not a loss, but no gain. 2nd and 10.
You know, the interesting part, man, they've got some pretty big boys over there.
They do. They have good size on that line. Now they're shotgun type form. Looking for the play from.
Better hurry. That clock is ticking. Called timeout.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got a timeout here. Here we go.
So, for example, if you'll notice, single-digit numbers are always receivers, running backs, up to 10 get above 70, the 80s and 90s
I'd receive.
receivers. So if you are let's say you're number 78 and you play right tackle, you can line up at the tight end position, not eligible
Receive the ball.
unless if checked in, like pros will different like that, but they have to check in. Used to, if you had like a lot of times a quarterback could be a snapper. He snapped it to. He had to put a lineman number. Now,
They just make you call that what
so,
you're.
but so
You have to make yourself aware to the referees and essentially. So I always go back growing up. The one play that always sinks in my head is when the Chicago Bears, the other Bears, whenever they had that Super Bowl play, where they handed it off to the fridge.
Yeah, I knew
This
that's what
big
you were
dude
say.
plowed through what? Oh my goodness! Y'all can't see it. The camera's not catching up.
Oh
AI
my
is doing that.
goodness. So
He ran.
that's number 14
Wow.
for the
Number
Roughnecks.
14 of the Roughnecks had the afterburn. Gavin.
They throw the ball, and he is run down, I believe, by J.T. Maddox. J.T. hit him out right at the.
That wasn't. We missed that. I have to apologize. I was looking at Sam, and we were deep in talk about those numbers.
Great play by White Oak. They're down to about the 50. So now they're in a tight formation number right at the bottom. Hand it off, and they're second and 16. Yeah, so part of that is you have linemen field on a pass. See if
Receive a ball.
occasionally pass called back because that's a line.
That's what that is.
Yeah, so
That's interesting.
it helps the defense be able to line.
Oh,
There-
quarterback's holding on to it.
Wildcat formation. Their quarterback number 15 gets down to
He-
the one.
Not across.
Well, they're marking it at the one. I'm looking at these two officials on our sideline. They are marking the ball at the one, and now we've got a quick huddle. I'd say another
wow.
run with 15.
Before he did that.
He hands it off.
Oh.
He's met about a 2 loss. They're back at about. So it is first and goal, but like they look. Staying in the same formation, a wide receiver top and one bottom.
Whoa, that was low.
He hands it off.
Oh, he is good. He
That's
got it.
number 32, I believe.
That was Caleb. 32 number Caleb.
So there's a score for White Oak. That will cut the lead from 15 to 0 to 46. They are lining up after. Number 7 will be. And,
Number 7 is Jason
and it looks
Ludlow.
like number 19 is.
That would be Brady Greenwood.
That kick is up and good. So White Oak on a long, well-placed pass cuts the lead in half.
And what was that player that was like taking off? That was Gavin. That guy had some legs on him. It's a senior. He's definitely got some speed. So, here's another one. What if a kid grew up watching some JJ and the Uber, not Uber, Goop. Anyway, and they said I think his number was 99.
It was.
So what if someone grew up going, man, I love JJ Watts. I'm going to be number 99, but I'm a quarterback. Can I be number 99 as a quarterback? Or would they just go, well, you really don't pick another number?
I don't know. I've never heard of that come up, but a lot of the 90s numbers are defensive players.
Oh, okay.
But they don't have to be. And you can
curious.
play the defensive line, and you see it a lot in high school. You'll have a nose guard or a defensive tackle that's got a 20-something number or a 7 number, and they're probably pretty quick, and their offensive position may be a back position. But on the defensive line, you're not limited by your numbers. Like
That's only an offensive.
yes, for offensive purposes.
That way, the other team knows who to be looking out for.
So White Oak kicks it deep, and it's caught by Nathan Smith, number 25, and he returns the ball.
He made some good yardage.
He gets a nice little return up to, they're going to spot the ball, looks like at the 40-yard line. Yes, sir, 40-yard line. So
one thing we can say about the Roughnecks is it's not going.
That is correct.
Because if their record at the moment is 0, you said 0-9. That's got to be tough for everybody. But clearly, they've got some good defense. We've seen them definitely put some strain on our quarterback, so it's going to be a good game.
Well, like I said, it's like playing your next door neighbor on the street. You don't want him to beat you. The Bears take over, and they are
hand off to 21. There he
Carson
goes.
Cooper.
There he goes.
Cooper on another long run, and he turns on the afterburners
He
just
was aiming for that.
he outruns several of the Roughnecks.
How many yards was that?
Well, they were on the 40, so that's a 60-yard run.
Wow.
So Gladewater answers very quickly. Another big play, and again a touchdown by Cooper, and that will bring the score to 20, and the PAT to follow here.
I'm sure that's pretty exciting. Just another tidbit about Carson
Cooper.
A
block, PAT.
Oh, way.
And he picks it up. Frank Sierra
get that in there?
Frank Sierra picks the ball up, and I'm not sure if it was blocked or bobbled. I think a block. He picks the ball up and runs to the left corner at the top of your screen and gets it in. So it's a 2-point play.
An accident 2-point play. How often
but now I'm going to say this: every team does plan for a block or a high snap or something. And so, you got to get the ball, and you're going to probably run to the corner, or you're going to look up and try to throw one to the corner. It depends if everybody's on the same page or not. So anyway, now
how often have you ever seen somebody do that? But they're aiming for a field goal. They're aiming for 3 points, but it's a fake field goal running in.
Well, we see it some, but. So anyway, 22-7.
Morgan, number 15 for the Bears.
And he's kicking. They're kicking a little deeper, kicking in that gap.
About to 21. They better put some hands on him.
That guy's got some speed. Let's get a number.
They want to aim for another person.
That's number 11.
That was Loden Ladwig.
And so we've called his name.
He's a sophomore.
Yeah. So he ran well that time. He kind of darted back and forth and.
Just like our Carson Cooper is also a sophomore.
That's true.
There's a lot of growth here that's going to happen for both teams.
There is.
Great.
There is.
You look at Wild Oaks thing over here. They are littered with juniors.
And I see
sophomores.
They got about 8 sophomores, at 7 or 8 on there themselves. So, and we knew this was. Gladewater would be young this year. So now it's a handoff to 32. The defensive line for Gladewater
was Caleb.
Is just penetrating almost like they're not touched. And first one I saw in there was Israel Serta, number 33. So that's a loss of 3 yards. They're calling it 2nd and 14. It's pretty close to that. So now got 11 at the bottom of your screen, 14 at the top. They're getting their play. So it's a deep snap, 2 wide receivers, motion. They're going to probably run to the right, and yes, they do. But there's penetration. He changes his field, and it's not a good play. There was nothing there. They lose yardage again. They were in the
15, Bryce Morgan.
They were in the Wildcat formation where they snap it to the guy that's going to run it.
Oh, straight to him.
Yes, and so uh, there was just nothing there. I think the Bears had done their homework and they knew they were coming that way. So now they're in the same formation. Two wide receivers, two slot backs, and then one running back and the quarterback. There's the motion. And they hand it to the fullback, and he's met in the backfield. First one there was number 9, Joby Chico.
Joby Chico.
But I also see number 33 in there.
32 again.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman.
So anyway, that's going to bring a 4th and 14 obvious punting situation from the White Oak 21-yard line. They're in a punt formation. There's the snap.
Number 19, Brady Greenwood.
And it's a fair catch called for at the 48-yard line, 49-yard line. And that was fair catch by Brayson Woods. So Bears in great field position on their own 49. And defenses are switching out on the field. So this is this game, I guess, because they're not throwing much, it seems to be going quickly. Yes,
very fast.
So Bears come on the field.
Clock barely gets a breather.
Cooper is in the backfield. Flanagan is in the backfield. They have two wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. I formation. There's the snap, and it's a pass out to Wilson. Wilson catches the ball, the little hitch pass, and he picks
some
up.
Players ready for him though.
Yes, and they've seen that play a lot. So that's a 4-yard gain. And Coach Murphy, when he would call that, and Chad was catching the ball out there, he'd say, "If you don't make 3, I'm not going to call it again." So you always try to make 3 or 4 yards, So now the formation's flipped, and it's a handoff to Cooper, and he tries the left side, and it is good. It's going to be close to a first
move
down.
The chains. Let's see. Oh, yep. Move the chain, Sam.
They are. Well, one's saying yes and one's saying no. Now they're moving.
Okay.
So chains move, first down. We are into White Oak territory on the 41-yard line. Woods is going to be lined up tighter at the bottom of your screen. Still an I formation. And Brown is the quarterback, and he hands it off.
Like number 21 again of the
Carson Cooper. That's kind of a mouthful right then. So that is going to be a second and what do you think? 6?
They haven't.
They've got second and 10. They might be having problems.
Maybe.
Yeah. So now there's the snap. Brown wants to throw.
Air it out. Airing it out.
He is open.
Oh my
goodness. Woods
goodness.
is open. So Luke Brown to Brayson Woods, right down the middle, runs a post route, catches it, and goes in for the score. That will bring the score to 28 with the PAT coming.
And Sam, both of those players are sophomores.
Oh, is that right?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Isn't that
so
something?
That is.
But again, both these teams are both very young, so it's very interesting.
And that kick is good. And so that will make it 29-7. There's 5:40 left in the second quarter, and Bears on top. So tonight, I believe we have Atlanta playing Tatum. Is that correct, Avon? I think so.
That verified.
We'll look before I give you bad information. We're going to look, and I'll pull up the red zone here.
Exactly where.
And so we'll scroll down here into the 3A. while they line up for the kickoff. White Oak and Gladewater. Jefferson and Sabine are tied in the first quarter, 7-7. And let's see if we can find anything else. I'm not seeing. Oh, Atlanta and Tatum. Atlanta 7, Tatum 6 in the second quarter. So there's the kick. And the ball is returned up to about the 35. We'll see where the spot is. And the Bear defense will come on the field. So we've got Atlanta and Tatum playing. Atlanta tentatively will be the fourth place finisher, and Tatum be district champions if they win. Jefferson, I think, second, Gladewater third, and Atlanta fourth at this point. White Oak is at the bottom of those six, and Sabine is ahead of them. So that's the what they had projected on the red zone. We won't know that till they actually play. There's a throw, and it's number 11. Ball's thrown a little too far. Coverage was, I believe, is that number 28 jogging back
of the
Bears? Yeah, it is, and that
line.
was Flanagan, Jeremiah Flanagan, on the coverage there, and he'll be, or it might be. No, it's 28. It is. So he's covering again. White Oak may be trying to make a big gain here. Deep formation. Ball is handed off to number 32, and he gains, I think it's going to be a 4-yard gain. Yeah, 4-yard gain on a fullback run up the middle. So that brings us to third and 6. The White Oak at the bottom of your screen has 11 and 23 split out wide. 14's wide at the top. 15 is your quarterback, and then 32 and 13 are the running backs. And so shotgun formation. And he's looking to throw. He scrambles, drops the ball, picked up by a White Oak player, and the ball is down at the 31-yard line. So fumble by the quarterback, be on the 32, it looks like. And another player, I didn't get the other White Oak player's number. So that brings up a fourth down. And now fourth and about 14. So they are in a punt formation.
Well, I don't know which one it is, but supposedly there.
Well, that punt is short. Oh, my goodness. So here's what happened if y'all were watching.
Oh, wow.
The ball was snapped low. He bobbles around, picks it up, gets the punt off. It's short. And a Gladewater Bear running tries to catch it. And
should have left it alone.
Should have let it roll. But hindsight's so good.
We can say that
up here we can. You know, when I was on that sideline, I made a lot of mistakes. I don't make too many up here, but I still make some. I still find a way to make
perfect. Some. Human has its flaws.
So we'll see how that goes down. Avon, I've been out too long. There's some rule about whether or not the ball
travels so far,
crosses the line of scrimmage. Different things happen on whether or not it crosses the line of scrimmage or not. I don't know that one ever made it across the line of scrimmage, but I don't have access to a replay. But they're talking about it, and one of them is coming over and talking to Coach LeVere now.
Huh.
So I wish I could hear what he was saying.
Well, while they're doing that, we want to give a shout out to look like Carthage.
Oh.
Days ago.
So, well, they must have had an open date this week.
There they had. Congratulations.
So they're 10-0 after the home. So it looks like our defense is staying on the field, but there still seems to be
there a flag and we missed
I
that?
didn't see
Or
a
is it just
flag.
because the refs are going at our heads?
Yeah, I think they want to make the right call, and I'm not sure what it is. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah. So I do have a question. I don't know if y'all can see the ref dead all by him. Curious, Sam. Out here by voicing him.
Well, he may have been watching
There's
something
also
back
another
here.
ref down here.
They may have been watching something different, and these guys were up here calling. So let's see what they're going to call it. I'm guessing that it's going to be White Oak's ball and 1st and 10, further back than when they started. But I'm not
But
sure.
they get the ball back for good for them, and that was a very and again. This is another one of those things you just don't.
Yeah.
Probably where
But
some
it was
person that normally doesn't catch the ball.
when he got it, the rush was on him, and he just got it away real quick, and he shanked it off to the right. So 1st and 10, White Oak from their 21-yard line on a just kind of a freaky play, and they're throwing. So it's a hitch route, and he is tackled quickly for a 4-yard loss, maybe 5. They did complete the pass, but there were no yards to be found. So that was a loss of 5, maybe more. Call it a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15. White Oak has wide receiver at the bottom of your screen, 2 wide receivers at the top, and it is going to be running backs in the backfield.
Whenever you always say there's the motion required. They so much of it. Those bears were all over him. Bear number 33, bear number 51.
So 33, of course, is Israel Serta, and 51 is Landon Porter. And that's a further.
They did not let. I mean, they literally ran over the person in front of the quarterback and just clobbered him.
So now they lost yardage again, and it's going to be 3rd and I'm going to call it 20. Might be 19. Might be more than 20. So there is a timeout. I can't tell. Might be the Bears. They're showing, aren't they just showing one timeout for the and showing 3 for the Roughnecks? So we do have a timeout. The ball is placed on the just 9-yard line. Front of the tip of the ball, probably touching the 9-yard line.
Those refs are busy writing in their books. Secrets.
Yeah. Well, they I don't know if they still do it, but they used to give you a card at the end of the game that had timeouts and just their information that they keep track of, and they always give you a copy of it. And one of the places I worked at down in South Texas when I was a young man, he always had me get the card from the head referee. But he didn't like the way they called one night, and I went, and he did that because he would lose it. I would keep up with it when he had to fill out the game report. So that night, as I started to get it, he put his hand in front of my chest. He said, "I'll get the card tonight."
Uh-oh.
And it was not pretty. But anyway, so now White Oak is 3rd and long, and he runs.
They've got somebody broken loose here,
it's
Sam.
Number 11 or 12. Number 12, or 13. I can't tell. Let him get up.
Hard to
15. Tell. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
15.
The
I saw 11 in front of him. So yeah, and he just ran the ball, picked up a little bit. That cut it down to probably 15 yards, 4th and 15. I know, but I think something's wrong with that.
We won't pay attention
either
to
the keyboard or the clock. We'll try to call it to you every time. But 4th and 15, and they are punting. And maybe we'll see.
Someone got chewed out.
Yeah, 2:21 left. So there's a good snap and a
Yeah, that's a
much better
great one.
punt. And number 0, Brayson Woods, he might get a little chew in there for catching that one instead of letting it bounce with 2:11 left in the second quarter. But he holds on to it and not much of a return. He's brought down pretty quick. But they were right up on him. So
Yes, sir, they were.
good coverage by the Roughnecks that time. And Bears will start this drive on their own 45. Score 29-7, 2:11 left in the second quarter. And looks like the Bears have one timeout left, and the next Roughnecks have 3. So Bears have a pro set, 2 wide receivers top, 1 at the bottom, and he's throwing, and it's completed to the next 40-yard line. Actually, 15-yard gain, 14-yard gain. And I'm trying to see who that was that caught that ball. Here the Bears are again, and they're trying to get a timeout, and the clock does finally stop. The coaches were turning around waving at the press box. And so it stops.
They're pretty upset then.
It stops with 1:41 left on the clock for the second quarter. And the ball is on the 41-yard line. And I'm sure that Gladewater would like to get into the end zone one more time before the half ends.
Well, here's an update. Look at this. Look at this.
Atlanta 21, Tatum 14.
That interesting.
And then Jefferson and Sabine still tied at 7. That's still in the first quarter. So Bears now in a one-back motion. And he's going to run it. Brayson Woods. And he slips a little bit and spins around, and he does. They're going to mark his forward progress with about a 1-yard gain. But that was out of the Wildcat formation. Now Carson Cooper checks back in, and Brown, number 11, comes back in. Woods stays in the game, but he'll probably go to wide receiver this time, and he does. So Frank Sierra and Woods are at the bottom of your screen. Brown in at quarterback. He fakes a handoff, and he throws deep.
Oh, my goodness.
To Brayson Woods, and number 5 for White Oak, that is Tyson McKinney, makes a good play and gets his hand on that and breaks it up. I believe Woods had him beat on the inside position, and the White Oak defender just reached over and kind of helped knock that away. So that is a 3rd and 8.
Less than a minute to go in the second quarter.
So here we are again, and this time the ball goes to Cooper, and he is met. He gets a gain, but it's about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Clock is down to 47 seconds and counting.
That makes 4th down, right?
Yes, and it's 4th down.
Go for it. Boy, they got 3 receivers down low.
So Luke wants to throw it, and he throws it. Oh, and it's fumbled. I don't know. They may call that an incomplete pass. 4th down anyway. Yeah,
that doesn't.
So he got his hands on it. He's trying to turn up field and just couldn't hold it. Ball was thrown a little low.
And Sabine. Think about Sabine looking at those scores. And it's there. We are less than 30 seconds.
So we're at 28.7.
If we receive the ball the first time, they're going to get it back.
Yes. So Bears are going to have to play defense for 28.7 seconds. They've got 29. White Oak has 7. and White Oak is on their own 38-yard line, we'll call it. And they've got time, depending on what they do, they've got time for maybe 3 plays. But it just depends what they can do. So they are lined up with only in a gun formation. He wants to throw. He pumps, and then he throws over number 11 is who he was throwing for, number
I didn't
15.
burn up my clock. Rolling down.
Yeah. So 24.3. Ball, of course, the clock stopped on an incomplete pass. But 23 is at the bottom of your screen. 11 and 14 are at the top. 2 backs are 13 and 32. 15 still your quarterback. So there's the snap. He wants to throw again.
Oh,
he
there
throws
goes
the hitcher
rocket
out
up there.
And 14 with the catch makes enough.
Evan, 14.
Not quite for first, but it's a second and about.
Our number 3, JT Maddox.
Yeah. Second and 3 with 19.6 because he did get out of bounds on that catch.
Good ball. I mean, you got to admit.
It's control of those last few seconds for sure.
They're executing that clock like a razor.
So, same basic formation. Wins at the top. There's the snap, and he's
trying to run for it. He did not get to breathe this time.
And
bear number 9, Joby Chico.
So great play. The quarterback was actually rolling away from him, and he kind of ran him down. So that's going to end the second quarter and the first half. 29 Gladewater, 7 White Oak. And they'll go in for their adjustments and break, and then they'll come back out and we'll start the third quarter.
I was going to say yelling at. Just another quick little update. That scoreboard on the Sabine Jefferson did get back in at 14-7. The Atlanta Tatum game is still the way it was. Atlanta 21, Tatum 14.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
So
we beat Atlanta.
Yeah. So, but that's why they play on Friday nights, because anything can happen. I promise you, anything can happen on any given night. So let me just look real quick before we let them go for the halftime.
You're looking.
No, I was just seeing, anybody, and sometimes it updates. It's still showing a lot of games in the first quarter. Anyway, we'll come back and give you some halftime updates, and then we'll let you watch the bands, and we'll leave it running, but we'll cut our mics off. So
we'll turn it up for you.
We'll see y'all in about 30 minutes. Welcome back to the second half of the Roughneck Bear game here in Jack V. Murphy Stadium. We are 29-7 in favor of the Bears, and teams are back out with senior night here, and they honored seniors from the band, football team, I think the Honey Bears and cheerleaders. So just
Every senior shout out here, Sam. You know, one of the things I want to point out real quick if you're in here with us, just coming online, the second half's about to start. But if you look at that 50-yard line, especially near the top of where Wild is, blurry. So this camera that's doing all this is operated by artificial intelligence that is noticing it, stretching out, noticing movement, and the movement. There's 4 cameras in one that the artificial intelligence is able to zoom in between out of this gigantic image paced together with 4. That's why we got that blur there, and that wasn't there before. But anyway, we're back to this second half, and the first went so fast it was just under a whole hour.
Yeah, and that's unusual, but I think the clock just didn't stop much because they weren't throwing that much. But we've had the kickoff, and the Roughnecks have the ball. They're going to start on the 31. Had about a 10-yard return on that, and decent field position to start the third quarter here. So I'm sure both teams have gotten a break and had some Gatorade and or some bear juice, and and so they're all ready to go again. And the Roughnecks come out and have their play, so they just line up on the ball. They're going to have 3 wide receivers at the bottom, trips to the bottom, and deep snap for the quarterback. He hands the ball to number 32 around the right side.
Oh, he is gone, Sam.
And he is brought down by J.T. Maddox. Pretty good open field
The 32
grab.
for White Oak. Caleb Maxled is how.
So that's a first down. So they move the chains. White Oak still on the 40, about the 47 or 8. Throws out.
That's the number 10 of White Oak. Scotty. I'm not going to mess that last name up. It's Scotty.
And he is brought down by Latrell Henderson, number 2, after about a 4-yard gain. Oh, he's throwing again to number 10. Oh, a double
goodness,
pass.
Look at that. Look at that.
Double pass.
I don't know if that camera caught up, because again, the camera not run by us. That was a very interesting trick play.
It was a double pass basically. So the first pass,
15 Bryce Morgan and number 10 Scotty.
And I think they're saying the ball hit the ground and he didn't catch it. So
you're saying they don't think number 10 caught it.
Right. But his guy was open, and that's the deal. You get maybe one shot at that play a game. So now it's just
quarterback keeper
wildcat formation, and the quarterback
number 51, Landon. Wait, no, 51, Landon Porter. Tackle.
So he ran about 15 yards, but it was all sideways. So it's now 4th and 12.
As a coach, you at least gave him some grace since he had some movement.
Well, his hustle was great, but he didn't have. There's no way he could turn it up against who was waiting on him. So anyway, we would call that having pursued inside. Oh, a fake punt.
Oh my goodness!
And it goes nowhere. They snapped the ball.
We were just talking about.
Yes, we were.
Crazy
we were
plays.
discussing fake punts.
I love them. I love crazy plays.
So, number 19 was the punter. He acts like he's running to the left, the bottom of your screen. They snapped the ball to one of the guys blocking for him, and they ran to the right. But there was a pretty good crowd waiting on him. So,
band of bears.
No gain. Certainly not a gain for a first down, but I don't think there was any gain on it. Ball.
They only had 2 to go, so that was a good try.
No, they had 12.
Oh, it was 12?
Because the other first down marker was down here.
Well, that guy had that on too.
I know. You can't go by that.
Gotcha.
So
got a new person working the board.
Bears take over, and they run a little counter play out of the eye. Luke Brown is the quarterback. Carson Cooper carries the ball. And on that one,
number 32 of White Oak with that Caleb. Good.
On that one, they fake to the fullback going to the left, and then Cooper takes it to the right. And so you want your linebackers to step toward that fullback, and then he's got a little break. But basically, they lost maybe a half a yard. And Brown wants to throw, and he makes a little pitch and catch, and he's got some room, and he is out of bounds at about the 22, and there's a flag on the White Oak player, I believe.
That was number 8 on the Bears, Gary.
And so that was Jabrandon Polly. I still want to say his brother's name. That was Jabrandon. He made a nice run after he caught that ball, a little short pass, and he made quite a few yards. They're going to move the chains, but I believe they're going to mark off more yardage against White Oak for unnecessary roughness. He tackled the guy after he stepped on out of bounds. He slung him down, or
big no.
You can't. They frown on that. Now, you can't do that. So that's going to probably be half the distance. That puts the ball on the 11-yard line for the Gladewater Bears, and another first down. It's not first and goal. So there's motion, and they hand it to the tailback,
number 21,
and that's Carson Cooper. And Cooper makes. He runs all the way to the sideline. It was blocked up in the middle, so he slides. He kind of slid it out a hole, and he makes about 4 yards just running to the sideline. So now the ball is on the 7-yard line, and the clock is supposed to be running. They're winding it up. There it goes. 8:38 left in this quarter. So the Bears have a second and about 6. And they're in the Wildcat. He's going to take it to the right side. He finds a gap, and he gets inside the 5, and that is Bryson Woods.
That was White Oak number 0, not on this board, and then 44, Kelton.
So on that Wildcat, when number 0, Bryson Woods is there, and they snap to him, and he just runs most of the time. I think they've just got it called right or left because he starts in one hole, then he bounced it wider and bounced it again and made those yards. So same basic formation this time, and he goes off tackle, and he is in.
Touchdown, Sam.
So that was number 9 they snapped to that time, and that was Joby Chico. So he makes a run out of the Wildcat. I believe it was number 9, wasn't it?
I didn't have my extra distance vision on.
But anyway, he gets it in. So now it's 32-7, 7:50 left in this quarter. And the kick is up and good. So that brings us to 36-7, 7 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
While we got this changing of the guard here, Sam, I've got a question. We've got this roster, not a very good pitcher, but it talks about their positions.
Yes.
C, O, L, D. What is POP? P-I-P on this thing for some of these people positions, and I don't know if that's a hiccup or what.
Those are all
linebackers?
Back numbers.
Linebackers, a POP. Also have linebackers up here that are running backs and Roughnecks.
I am too.
I mean, they are Roughnecks. Maybe those are the guys having to run that O-line.
I don't know. And how many players have that? Wow.
Maybe.
And he's got a little room.
Damn, that Roughneck was not.
So, and that's number 11 running that ball. We've called his name, Logan.
Logan, yes, sir.
And so Logan gets the ball back out to the 50. So that's a good job. And Logan, he ran tough and he showed some speed right there.
The other guy's 14 of the Roughnecks, who is also, he's the one that made that blast off and got him down goal line.
Well, I know I was glad we had some hands on him that had enough grip to stay on him. All right, so White Oak now on the 50. Ball is on the right hash. They've got trips at the top and one wide receiver at the bottom. They're in the shotgun formation. There's the snap, and he wants to just run it like the Wildcat.
Oh my goodness!
And
What a
he
drive
picks
that
up.
was.
He picks up. I'm gonna
Number
say,
15, Ross Morgan of White Oak.
yeah, Morgan picks up about 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 4, and they're in the exact same formation, getting their play from the sideline, and they line up. He's changing the play. Here's the snap, and it's a run to number 32. And he makes maybe another 2 yards, maybe 3. But it's going to be 3rd and 1. And
Quick, good plays from
they
Roughnecks.
are. And, you've heard me talk about a quick dive play before, how hard it is to stop. And if it's quick enough and you get past that initial line and you can make one move, you'll have a big gainer, 20 yards or so, maybe more. And we've seen Gladewater do that a lot.
Absolutely. Better watch out. That play clock is burning.
So they're
4
down
seconds left.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
They're going to have a timeout or a penalty. So they call a timeout. So that's going to be their first timeout of the 3rd quarter. So they haven't changed it yet, but that will leave them with 2.
Yeah, and they show us left, and I don't think.
I don't either. We haven't in this half. So I don't know if they're having problems over
What
there.
Call that operator.
Yeah. Well,
no worries.
So there's a timeout. This one we know is called by White Oak. The ball is into Bear territory on the 42-yard line. It's a 3rd and 2. And, if they could very well make a first down, pick up.
Oh, absolutely. They play one of those big plays like that again.
Well, even if they hit that,
ready for.
Even if they hit that dive real quick.
Definitely with it. Now my wife says it's 9 degrees.
Well, I looked and it said it would be 58 or 59 by 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's
and
target.
And so and it'll get down colder than that tonight, but pretty pleasant to play in. There's the snap. There's pressure. My goodness!
Was that Chico
Number
again?
5. That was Frank Sierra.
He was on fire,
and he was on a little blitz in there, and number 15, the White Oak quarterback, rolled away from him, and he tracked him down, and just kind of grabbed on him and drug him down, literally. But that was a great defensive play, because you see where Frank plays, he's out there in the secondary, so
he must have had the afterburner ticked on wide open.
For sure. So they got wide receivers to both sides.
He's moving the same way. The Bears were after him. Was that? Wow.
He gets the pass off under pressure, roll into his sideline.
Good for that.
And it's really enough for the first down. Not a big game, but enough for the first down. And here they are with a quick pace. They got twins to both sides. And now he's going to run. And he's met in the backfield.
Number 36. Have we called that number?
We have, because I remember looking it up.
Tristan Collins.
A great play there, just meeting him kind of head on.
Oh, he's a senior.
So now they're in twins formation, 2 wide receivers on each side of the field, and number 32 is your one back, and then 15 is your quarterback. So they can hand it to 32, quarterback can run it, or it can be a pass, and I'm looking for a pass.
Yes, sir. That's what.
It's a draw. And
number 36 again,
yeah.
Christian Collins. Sam, he's a senior, and his mom was a teacher at primary, and she moved up, was a teacher at Weldon, moved up a few years later, was a teacher at our middle school. Now she's a primary camp.
That's awesome.
She is a Bear all the way around.
That is awesome. And a lot of times those teachers' kids, they get exposed to a lot, don't they?
Yes, sir.
So there's the snap he wants to throw again. And he throws across the middle.
That was
incomplete.
Number 14, Gavin.
And I'm trying to see. I
That
think that was that JT Maddox on the coverage from that cornerback, and we also had a safety coming over the top. So, but anyway, the receiver couldn't get to the ball. Gave him too much lead.
4th down, Sam. Big one.
So now the Bear defense shifting. Sierra goes out to cover one of the 3 receivers, and Flanagan comes to this side. And I'm thinking he's going to rush. Sure enough, here he comes. And he doesn't get him, but he leaves a path of about 3 blockers down.
Jumping up and down. Number 9, I believe, was Chico, right?
Yes. So that was a great defensive play by the Bears. There was pressure from the instant the ball was snapped, and it ended up good for the Bears with a changeover on downs and a 1st and 10. They're starting out on their 37-yard line. So White Oak coming out to line their defense up. Bears offense is already out there. And it's an I formation. And it is a fake.
Brown is keeping the ball.
So Brown rolls out, fakes to Cooper, the tailback, and he looks and he can't find anybody. He does manage to get far enough up the field not to lose yards. So it's still a 2nd and 10. So just a good job by Brown of not having a loss. So 2nd and 10. Now Gladewater has trips to the top of the screen. 1 back, shotgun formation. High snap.
That was really high. Oh, no.
And it's a high snap, and it was going to be given.
Number 25 of the Bears.
And that is Nathan Smith. And so Luke had to jump up to get the ball, and Nathan kind of stopped for it and lost his momentum. But again, he picks up about 2 yards on almost a busted play. So that brings up a 3rd and 8. So now quarterback under center, high formation, fakes it to the fullback, and he wants to throw it
out. He is airing it out, Sam.
Oh, and number 5, who we have called his name before, Frank Sierra, is down on the 25-yard line and just can't quite hold it. He's open. He's behind his man. Luke did a great job throwing it down the field, but Frank just couldn't reel it in. So incomplete pass, but ball would have been down on the 25 with a catch on that one. So now it looks like Gladewater will punt.
Wow. First. I told you before, this White Oak defense is no slouch. They've definitely got some great.
Oh, and he called fair catch.
Whoa.
Number 6 for White Oak calls fair catch, goes over his head.
Thought he touched it.
No, he stayed clear of it, but it'll give White Oak the ball on the 25. 1st and 10. We're at 2:21 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I think that right there almost sews this one up enough to say that we're going into the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. After seeing what White Oak was able to do at the end of the 2nd quarter, they do have some really smart time management skill. They were able to get off 4 plays, like less than
27 seconds, I think, when we ended the half.
Very impressive.
So, everybody
could happen.
Everybody works on a 2-minute drill and how to kill the clock and that kind of stuff. But they did a good job as that half ended. Low snap directly to 13. He's met by 9, which is Chico, and number 13, who is Clayton Shandarlis. So he's in on a stop. He was celebrating too, and that's good. So now the Roughnecks have 14 and 11 at the top of your screen, split out wide. Running backs are 32 and 44. And then 23 is the receiver at the bottom. So they're going to snap it directly to 13, I believe, which we'll call the Wildcat formation.
Oh, and then he hands it off.
And 32 runs to his right. He does not make it back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of Bears.
And he loses about 3 yards. So that's going to be a third down and 14. So now White Oak in the same formation. They're all looking to the sideline for the play. And they've got it. I'm sure they'll kind of snap it quickly.
Clock is almost at right now. Now, that was 1 minute. Clock with 5 seconds left to go.
Low snap. He wants to throw. There's pressure. And number 13 goes down. And I'm trying to get a number. It ends in a 2, the guy that got him.
2?
Tell you in a second. Yep. I believe it's 32. So that is
Boudreaux. Mason Boudreaux of the Bears.
a good sack by him. White Oak punts. Decent punt. And it's taking. Did it touch that bear? I don't know. He might have just been keeping it from going the other way. No, I don't think he did. I think it's going to be, first and 10. So if White Oak punts it, and no one has touched it, and it goes past the line of scrimmage,
That literally.
probably. So if he punts it, and it goes past the line of scrimmage, and nobody touches it, and then a White Oak player touches it,
Dead.
no, not dead. Till they blow the whistle. Touching the ball doesn't make it dead. So you'll see guys, instead of just touch it and walk away, they'll pick it up and hold it till he blows the whistle dead. But if the ball bounces into a White Oak player and a Gladewater player, like it just hits him and keeps going, a Gladewater player can pick it up and run it. And then, let's say that Gladewater player fumbles and they recover it. It's not theirs. It comes back to where the first White Oak touch was.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of punt rules that make the game different.
Huh.
But
is that more recent, or is that something?
No, that's been, and I'm assuming it's still that way. So you'll see, a ball, and it's just called an illegal touch, but it's not a penalty. And so that's why you'll see him pick it up or just hold the ball down,
There's one thing I wanted to do. We didn't have the thing going earlier. We want to give a quick shout out to our seniors. Got number 1, Aaron Wilson.
And I coached his dad, Kelton, when I was coaching.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Kelton was a great player to coach. His attitude, his work ethic. I wish I could have had a bunch like Kelton.
It shows through his son, because we've got number 2, Latrell Henderson, senior wide receiver back. Number 3, we're going to miss calling also, J.T. Maddox. It's always fun to say his name. He's a running back defense. Also senior number 4, Evan Hawthorne, wide receiver, defensive back. Man, trying to get through this quick as possible.
That's all right. You go ahead and go.
Quite a bit.
They're running the ball and making yardage. I'll just say that.
Okay. Number 5, Frank Sierra, senior wide receiver, defensive back. Next up, we got the one that we got messed up with his older brother or cousin, Jabrandon Polly, running back, defensive line. Got number 9, Joby Show, tight end, defensive line. And next thing up, we got number 13, Clayton Chendarlis, wide receiver, defensive. Next on your senior list we have to go all the way down to number 33 that you called tonight, Israel Serta, running back, defensive line. With him, you got as a person I said earlier about his mom being an assistant principal on a primary campus. Tristan Collins, number 36, tight end, linebacker. And got way down the line here, we got Khalil Sheffield. Whoa, my goodness.
Okay, I'm going to let you pause a minute and you keep your spot.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Gladewater, while you were doing that, was just running the ball, fullback, tailback, marching it downfield. And that time, I believe it was number 25, Nathan Smith. He hit that line and broke open, and it was a foot race. And he got in there and scored. So that's 42 with the point after coming to make it 43. Okay, Avon, go ahead.
All righty, Sam. We were on number 56, Khalil Sheffield, senior offensive line and defensive line. And last but not least, we've got number 72, Cameron Taylor, offensive line, defensive line. And we just want to appreciate those guys for the regular season. We know the beginning of it, Coach Levere doesn't make it easy on them. He always ties them up with some hard players and hard teams. Make sure that these guys get conditioned with some of the greatest ones. And it may not look the best on the scoreboard, but I can assure you, he does that for a reason. He wants to make sure these players know, look, you can get where you can hang with these guys, going against guys at a lower class and guys in our area, we're going to have a much better outcome like we've got. We're going into the playoffs, and it's going to be a good time for these guys. And I just want to give that last shout out because it's senior night, and this is the last time.
Yeah, and
potentially they'll ever get on Bear Stadium, Jack V. Murphy Stadium.
And we talked about it earlier, and I don't have the list, but I know I can name some of them. Gladewater has a lot of alumni that came back and went to work coaching in Gladewater.
They did. I don't have that list
with
me either. So.
I know Coach Levere in Gladewater does not an onside kick, but a slow or a fast hopping ball, and they field it, and so White Oak gets the ball. But I know Coach Levere and Kevin Clark and Josh Yunt and Isaiah Davis, and I think there's 8 or 9 of them that are on the staff now that were former players at Gladewater. If you can find where some of those coaches
find something,
and it might be.
Oh, here we go down here at the bottom.
Call some of those names out.
We've got head coach Paul Balcorda, Jay Berry, Austin Blanco. I know he graduated from.
Yes.
Kevin Clark, I believe.
Yes, he did.
Isaiah Davis.
Yes, he did.
TJ King.
I don't know about TJ.
Chris Langford, Barry Lindsay, Zach Spears, Quentin Thomas.
Quentin Thomas. That's the one I knew I was leaving out. And Quentin was a.
His mama works here.
Yes, he did, and she does. And Quentin played for ETBU.
Oh, that's fantastic. Andrew Williams.
I think one of the Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think both of them maybe. I remember Caleb
Josh
for
Young.
sure. Yeah.
That tells you something. And also our band director, Jeff Smith, his dad.
His dad and I worked together for a long time. We actually broke up some fights one time, and when we used to have more of them than we do now. But yeah, Mitchell said, "I'll go to the office. You go up there and see what's going on." And he got us help up there. But
last but not least, we've got our cheerleader directors, Angie Townsend and Claudia Barnhill. I believe they are both on.
They are, and I know I taught Angie, and good.
Oh wow!
My
Did he
goodness!
Catch that? If y'all can see that
I'm gonna tell you,
White Oaks number. That guy.
Number 36.
But number 14 of White Oak. That was Gavin.
Tristan Collins, and who else was with him?
I missed it. I was trying to make sure I got the White Oak number to give him props.
But anyway, we had the receiver covered, double covered, and they hit the ball and batted it up, and it came down, and the receiver reached out and got it. Tremendous focus by the White Oak player on being able to catch that ball. But
wow.
But it was no one expected him to catch it, especially after it got tipped by the Gladewater defensive back. I think JT Maddox might have been the other one in on that.
Very possible.
But anyway, a great play by White Oak, by the receiver in particular, because he was covered well, and the defensive backs had their hands on the ball, and it got tipped up.
Yeah,
but
that was one of those slow-mo instant replays on ESPN. It was a great play.
You'd watch
Go
it
back
about
and watch
10
that
times.
YouTube. You'll enjoy it.
But that's why they do. We called it the tip drill, where somebody tips the ball up and you catch it. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God! Oh, and he got it back. Did you see that?
Yes, I'm watching
what is
that.
Happening?
The White Oak quarterback. That's the second time I've seen him drop the ball when he's running to get around the corner. And when he dropped it, he kicked it, and then a Gladewater guy pounced on it, and it got away from him, and the quarterback covers his own fumble. I mean,
I've got a
great
question.
hustle.
I mean, that's just, again, like you said before, incredible focus. That was just impressive.
What were you going to ask?
I was going to ask if our bear was actually on the ball and knees on the ground, it counts?
Well, he didn't. I don't think he really had it. He was trying to get it. But I think it was a good call by the officials.
Yeah, that was.
But we've seen some
fun to watch.
We've seen some crazy stuff tonight. And now the
he
quarterback
sees an
runs
opening.
a draw.
There's a flag.
And typically he
he
makes it down to the 5.
Wow.
But I'm afraid it's going to come back. When they throw it in the direction where those offensive and defensive linemen are, it's usually a hold. And so we'll see what they call.
You know, we've got one of the best in the house. We're completely covered, so if it's ever raining, it doesn't affect Sam and I. But, you know, I'm sitting there watching that ref you talked about. I'm sure sometimes they don't have as good a time as we do.
No,
because
they don't.
That guy couldn't watch the ball go past him. He had to keep focusing.
That's right.
On all these other people.
That's right.
Hee-hawing around.
When you're an official, you can't just watch the game. You're in the game and you got to do your job, and often it's not following the ball.
Look at that. Throwing another flag.
So they're throwing deep this time up the visitor sidelines, headed from left to right on your screen. And I believe number 2, Carter Snyder, I believe they're going to flag him for interference. That's about as far away as it can be from us and still be on the field. So we can't see, but
I just told him we had the best view.
We did. Well, we do. But if you were on the other sideline, you'd be better to
absolutely
see it from here. Because we're watching the far corner of the end zone from where we are. But we're up high enough we can see it, and we don't get rain on us. And so White Oak,
crazy.
Well, they didn't move. Yeah, they are now. I was going to say they didn't move the chains, but now they did. All right, so it's a 1st and 10 for White Oak, and they're wanting to throw again, and they're trying that corner again, and it's incomplete again. So 8:02 left in this quarter, fourth quarter, but they've seen something they like. They've thrown last 2 times to that.
They like number 14. Like just keep
to that. To that.
That's Gavin.
They're throwing to that northwest corner. They either found a coverage over there or somebody they want to pick on, and I say pick on, not in the true sense of that, but they want to keep trying that. The Gladewater showing a blitz. Here they come.
Good gravy. Number 52 of the Bears.
And that is Landon Brown.
Landon Brown for the sack on that one.
And he blitzes through there, looks like untouched, and wrapped up the quarterback. And
any gain they got.
And that's about a 6 or 7 yard loss. So 3rd and about 17. So here's the snap. Shotgun formation, throwing. Oh, almost intercepted by JT Maddox. 14 was the intended receiver, and they overthrew him. JT was coming from behind him and jumped up and got his hands on the ball and couldn't hold it. So he just almost had an interception there. So again, White Oak has one wide receiver at the bottom, number 14. They've got two up at the top, split out wide. They've got two running backs and a quarterback in the backfield. And then you're looking at the line from tackle to tackle. So here they come. And both running backs to the left of the quarterback. So I'm thinking something going to their left. He's just dropping back and throwing. And he throws it out of the end zone, but he was double covered. There was no chance that was going to be completed by anybody.
Over on down.
So ball goes over. Bears will take over on the 21. 7:21 left in the fourth quarter. Score 43 Gladewater, 7 for White Oak. So the offense comes in. Woods at the bottom of your screen down here, and who's beside number? Oh, that's number 5, and that is Frank Sierra. So they're both split out wide. 25 goes in at the running back position, and that's
Nathan Smith.
yes, and he gets the ball.
Oh my goodness,
and
he's
he is
that last
yes,
touchdown.
he's running hard. So he picks up, I'm going to call it 6-7 yards. That's a 7-yard gain, Avon. And he's running hard. So I'm guessing at 43-7 with 6:50 something and counting, the Bears are going to keep it on the ground, burn up the clock. They're back in the I formation, and it's a handoff to the fullback. But he gains 2, so it's still going to be 3rd and 1.
Number 8.
And that is, I believe that's Jabrandon Polly. So, new set of downs. He makes the first down.
Move the chain.
And run the clock.
Yeah, sure that's what.
So now we're back with the quarterback under center, an I formation, got motion, short motion, and they're running to the tailback.
25 again.
Yes, and he
that's all the White Oak team on.
He makes, I'm going to call it 2 yards. So it's going to be a 2nd and 8, but they
for 25, Nathan Smith.
So Nathan is running hard. He looks like a man on a mission out there. So here we come. One wide receiver, I formation. One tight flanker goes in motion. And
Smith again on the carry.
Smith is playing that.
Oh. He is wiggling around trying to find some yards, Sam.
Smith is playing that tailback position very well right now. They're going to mark that ball on the 38, and that's a little short. We're looking at 3rd and 3. And so Brown comes in and Sierra come into the game. Still the I formation. Sierra split wide up at the top of your screen. Brown under center takes the snap, and he wants to throw it.
He wants to,
and he runs a little bootleg, and that is number 8 that catches it, Jabrandon Polly, and he picks up a first down. So nice little short pass, get some yardage. Clock is stopped, and it should start when they get the chain set. They should reset it and turn it back on.
Why is the play clock moving?
There
weird.
It is.
Yeah, but the play clock was already moving before the clock.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
They've got to hurry now.
So Bears have.
Handoff. Oh, he is trying to stretch those legs out, Sam.
All right, so that's number 25 again.
Nathan Smith.
And he made about 6 yards there. Be 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4.
Good.
Well, now we got
yardage.
Grayson Woods coming back in, and we got Luke Brown still at quarterback. I formation.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So I don't know
They
if he
almost
called
ran
this.
over each other.
Yeah, the motion man, number 14, that is Preston Bohannon. He wasn't quite clear of the quarterback when the snap was called. So normally he gets past him before he gets the snap. So their timing, we don't know whose timing, but
slightly off that.
a little bit off that time. So now we've got Twins to the top, I formation, and Brown under center, and he hands it off.
Oh my goodness.
He hands it off to
25, Nathan Smith.
And Smith makes a great little run, another one, and the ball is down to the 25-yard line of White Oak. So there's now 3:09 and counting. And the Bears just continue to keep it on the ground, burn up clock, and make yards. So now we got trips to the top, still an I formation, motion back over.
25 again, Sam.
And White Oak is, I'm going to give them credit. They're trying to strip that ball.
They are. Yes, sir.
And,
I don't blame them for that.
And Smith is just doing a great job of cradling that ball and running tough. So I don't know what they got now. Was there a flag? They're bringing the ball back. So whatever yards he made is negated, and the ball comes back, and it's now 1st and 15. So Twins to the top, I formation.
25 again. He finds an opening, Sam.
And he's going to score.
He's got daylight. Seems to be finding the gaps.
I'm
and
telling
he's going
you,
through them.
Smith, it kind of makes you want to say, where's he been? But
Where's he been?
Cooper's been. They're fortunate they got a back as good as Cooper and somebody like Smith coming in fresh.
Yeah, that's great.
So another score going to bring us to 49, and PAT coming here, and that is good. So that's going to be 50-7. 2:26 left in the fourth quarter. So that 2-point block
that
conversion
fake
gives us 50 instead of 49. So anyway, the Bears have just finally kind of caught fire tonight, and they've played well. And not to take anything away from White Oak,
because their defense has done good.
Yeah,
we did have the punt the ball at least once. I remember recently.
They've looked like Gladewater looked at times during the year. They've given up big plays. They've played hard, and they've at times stopped the Bears.
They are definitely playing hard.
But
you can see that in focus, their drive.
So last time the Bears did a little, I call them a worm burner, just running along the top of the ground and then hoping it takes a hop and you can get to it. But it's not an onside kick. So now he kicks the same kind of kick, and it's caught and downed by number 10.
That Roughneck was ready.
Yes.
He was prepared.
And I think he got maybe the last one too. I'm not sure. But it came that way. But, you know, the only other time I've heard worm burner is when you hit a really low ball in golf, but you hit it really hard, and it just runs along the ground. And we say two things. One is, well, that's a worm burner. And then somebody says, don't cuss it till it stops rolling. It might roll a long ways. So, but we saw worm burners tonight in football too. So I think those worms are not on that artificial turf.
That's right. We can give some updates on some scores here. We've got Longview 21 over West Mesquite halftime. At least this is what the red zone's at. Hallsville 21 over 17 Mount Pleasant. We've got Athens 14 over Palestine. Got Kilgore 19 over Chapel Hill 3. Oh, Henderson 37 over Jacksonville 7. Got Maybank.
This should be a good game. The Kilgore Chapel Hill.
This
But
shows second quarter, but these
yeah,
are late.
so they've not been updated, and I don't know that if they're running that late. But anyway, that's 19 to what is that 3? Kilgore's favor. Gilmer putting it on Pittsburgh.
Ooh, 43 to 6. Come down to our neck of the woods, and you've got still shows the scores like it did before, and I just Atlanta 28, Tatum 14. I would really like to know where we're at with that.
Okay, White Oak tried to pass. Ball thrown as the quarterback was hit, not thrown well.
Our Bear number 9, Joby Chico.
So the ball he got it off, but just to prevent a sack, kind of landed in the middle of everybody, and nobody had a chance to get it. So now,
you will not believe I just hit refresh and look at these numbers. Atlanta 42 over Tatum 14.
That's a shocker to me.
Wow.
Tatum
was on a roll. They were going for an undefeated season. It's not. Atlanta said it's not happening.
Yeah. So a handoff there, and there's nothing there.
Has R50. That updated quick.
Yeah.
Just scored.
I know. Somebody might be calling that in. All right. While you're looking, White Oak is facing a 4th down. There's 1:10 and the clock is running, and it's 4th and about 11 or 12. So I'm assuming they're going to punt
1 minute right now.
Punt it or fake punt it.
I like to think. I think interesting to try a new thing.
And they punt it, and he gets a pretty decent punt this time. And it rolls down, and it's fielded by Woods.
Oh, he's moving.
And he's up the sideline, and he picks up about, I'm going to give him 8 yards probably, but he runs all the distance across the field and turns up. So
has some Roughnecks on top of him.
So that did burn up some clock. We're down to 39.8 seconds, and it's a Gladewater ball, 1st and 10. So I'm guessing they're going to run one play and then go victory formation or let it run.
Victory formation.
You like that, don't you?
I do. That's really cool. That's 4 right there. It's mind-blowing.
I know. So the Bears may be in victory formation now, take a knee, and then let the clock run out. And so the Bears will end up with 3 district wins.
Enough playoff.
To probably get a 3rd place in the playoffs. We don't know how Atlanta beating Tatum will affect it. So victory formation, they take a knee, and the clock will run. And so they don't have to run another play. Laycock's got 38, and so that's it. So we're going to go ahead and call this one like they do the elections. And
which is next Tuesday, by the way.
Well, actually, Avon, I voted today.
Oh.
I went to the Gilmer Civic Center, my wife and I, and we early voted. So I would say this, and this is for the Texas constitutional amendments.
There are lots of them.
There are, and one of them is
directly affecting teachers.
I don't want to be
you.
Yeah, I don't want to be political at a ball game, but I'm just going to say, go vote, because if you vote, you got a say in things, and if you don't vote, you're letting somebody else take your say. So go vote. I think you can early vote tomorrow too. Depending on if you're in Upshur County, you can go to Gilmer Civic Center,
right by Walmart.
Yes. So exercise your right and vote. And next week we don't know details, but Gladewater will play somebody next week because they are in the playoffs, and we'll.
Who knows? It might be here.
It might be here. Who knows?
We've
seen stranger things happen.
If it's here, you and I may get to do another.
We've might
never
get to do
done a playoff.
I know
that would be interesting.
So, but anyway, read your paper, watch the news, call the school if you don't know, watch Facebook, social media, find out when and who the Bears play, when and where, and just a reminder to you, with 4 teams going in the playoffs now, especially the first couple of rounds, some of them play Thursdays and some of them play Saturdays.
Oh, that's right. So it makes
So look for a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday game. And if you can go support the Bears, go support them. But we've enjoyed another year
I definitely have. I've definitely enjoyed it.
of
As always.
coming in on the airways or the internet webways.
Internet ways. There you go.
And we really enjoy doing this. We like it. We love our Bears, and we like high school football. So have a great weekend, and keep cheering for the Bears.